Hello. So with the launch of the WoW expansion Dragonflight tomorrow, I figured that I could do a video talking about my entire setup, but it's not gonna be primarily about my computer. It's more about my workstation and just all my peripherals. I feel like I've never really done a full video about that, but also just talking more about all the extra things that I use, whether it's like my microphone, my keyboard, my mouse, because stuff like that has really changed over the years. And I don't know, I just thought it would be a good time to talk about that because all of that stuff is just as important, right? Also, wanted to mention that with the release of Dragonflight, I will be playing. Who knows how long I will play for, but I will also be streaming on Twitch the entire time, so definitely come by and say hello. So first off, I would say one of the most important things to keep in mind is that your chair is very important, and I would say that it's not something you want to go too cheap on because it's very important to have something ergonomically correct and also one that supports your back very well. So the one that I am using is the Herman Miller Mira. It is the Mira 1 because the time that I purchased this, I bought this in, oh wow, it's actually been a lot longer than I expected. I bought this chair while I was still living at home before I moved out. So that was year 2013. And that means that it has been 9 years since I've had this chair. And I would say that this chair honestly has suffered very little wear and tear, despite the fact that I've moved, a lot since I came out here to San Diego. I've moved probably like 5 times or more. So every single time I've moved and had movers bring my chair, this is just a very sturdy chair. Nothing is peeling. Sometimes people have the armchair rest peeling because, I don't know, they slide it under the desk or something and it starts to tear over here. But I have my audio recording device behind me, so I can't sit straight comfortably. But I just have never dealt with back pains while sitting in this chair. I find this chair to be very, very comfortable. I think the main issue that I ever had was when I was playing Diablo, and that has a lot of mouse movement in that game, a lot more excessive compared to other games. So I feel like if I didn't have the right arm posture while I was playing, whether my wrist would be in the wrong position or sometimes my elbow would be like angled onto my armrest, I did notice a little bit of annoyance there. But honestly, this chair has lasted me so long, and I cannot imagine when I would be unable to use this chair just because it feels like it looks exactly the same as when I received it. When I bought it, it was on sale for like $500, and I think Mira 2 right now. So I said Mira 1 because Mira 2 came out a couple months after I bought my chair. And I bought it because I think they were trying to get rid of old inventory before releasing the second edition of the chair. But this chair, I would say, along with some customizations, can reach around $1,000. But also just really keep in mind there's certain things in your life that you use very often that you want to make sure is a good quality product. So for example, your mattress or your pillow, like those are things that you shouldn't want to go too cheap on because I feel like quality for those is very important. Quality of your sleep is very, very important for your health. So having a good chair, if you're going to be doing long gaming sessions, or even if you work from home and you're in front of the computer a lot, a correct and proper chair is very, very important for that. Okay, so here is an overview of what my setup looks like. On the right hand side, you see that I have my Rode pod mic, and it is anchored by a stand, also by Rode. I would say that the pod mic is middle of the pack kind of mic. I think it costed me $200, and I feel like it has worked out just fine for me this entire time. I have no issues with it. This is a Scarlett Solo audio interface that I needed to buy alongside with my Rode pod mic to get it working. Honestly, when it comes to audio, I have very minimal knowledge on it. You can see sitting on top is an Amazon Basics speaker. So I know audiophiles are gonna hate me for that, but I feel like I would need somebody in person to show me, just introduce me to the world of audio, show me some speakers and show me just help me experience the difference. And then I feel like after that, I would happily spend money on speakers. But in the meantime, this works out just fine for me. Here I have my headphones. This is the Logitech G Pro X, I think is what it's called. It's wireless. Wireless is a must for me whenever it comes to headphones. But honestly, I don't really use these anymore because I use these JBLs. Sorry, upside down. JBLs. Okay, so first off, I decided to buy these because I don't like having something on my head covering my ears, covering my hair, covering my head. I just feel like it's uncomfortable for me and I just don't like it. No matter what kind I try, they could be as comfortable as possible. I just don't like having something cupping over my head like that. Also, it ruins your hair. So I decided to give these a try because somebody recommended these to me, but also it was something that I was looking for a while. I was trying a bunch of other wireless earbuds, but they were always Bluetooth. And whenever it comes to Bluetooth connecting to my computer, from my personal experience, it has never worked out well for me. It's always really shitty connection or the sound quality is terrible. So these are $150 and they have worked out really well for me. I am super impressed with them. I love using these. They have amazing noise canceling whenever I'm out and walking. I probably should be using, it has an ambient aware feature which allows outside noise to come in so you're not just like completely oblivious to anything, very vulnerable to attacks. But they work fantastic. On the dongle connection though, the battery life is pretty mediocre, like 4 hours max. And that's only if you turn off the microphone using the app on the computer. If you leave the microphone on, battery drains way faster. On Bluetooth, it says it can last up to 8 hours. I've never tested that. Every time I use them on my walks don't last that long. So other than that, I have loved using these and I primarily use these when I stream now. We'll do a quick top-down discussion on my keyboard, which is a 10 keyless Philco pink keyboard with brown switches. I've had this keyboard for a while and I would always use it primarily at work, but I do love the color pink. The other keyboard that I was using was a Year of the Goat. I totally forget what the brand of keyboard was, but I just got tired of using red switches because I just didn't see the point of using a keyboard, because that keyboard I found very pretty. It's white, it has very pretty lights glowing around, and I just like typing on brown. It works way better for me, so I just decided to use this here. So this is the Logitech Pro Superlight wireless, as you can tell, and it is pretty lightweight. I haven't had the best luck with mice recently. Before this, I bought the SteelSeries 3 Aerox wireless, which died on me within like 6 months. So I bought this as a replacement, even after they sent me a warranty replacement, and it just didn't work out for me. So that one I have lying around, and I have like 3 to 4 mice somewhere in my household, but this is what I use right now. I only really ever need 2 mouse buttons on the side. I don't want more than that, and this works just fine for me. I tend to use, I'd say for the most part, I'm always using 1600 DPI. When I was playing FPS for a short while, I did lower it just for that purpose, but for everything else, I need 1600. Okay, next let's talk about my monitor. This is the Samsung Odyssey. I think there's more to the name, but I don't know it right now. Basically, it's ultra wide and it's dual 1440p. I had it wrong in my head early on. I thought it was dual 4K. It's definitely not. But it has its advantages and disadvantages. So I decided to buy it because the person that had it brought up the point that I could use it as a monitor for my personal computer as well as for work at the same time. And I really like the thought of that because then I could save space. When I got my remote job, I decided to buy a second desk and I would have the monitor and my own peripherals there. So having 2 separate workstations. But I didn't really want to do that because I thought it would be cool. I could use my nice microphone, I could use my webcam, I can use my keyboard and my mouse, all for both, for my work and then for my own personal stuff. And I guess you could still do that with a KVM switch and other monitors and stuff. It would just have more cables, I guess. But so this monitor has an option where you can split it like the way it is now, or you can have it as just one screen, ultra wide. I pretty much never use it that way anymore. I always split it just because I feel like it could be hard to just, I like to use snapping when I'm like resizing my windows or moving them. I always use windows and arrow keys together to move things around. And I just feel like one big screen doesn't really do anything for me. Anytime I stream Dota right now, it's always separated like this, which is also why it's positioned the way it is. It's not centered on my desk. One side of the screen is centered and then the other one is slightly off center. That off center side I always use for chat and whatever, so I can read it. But I want my game to be directly in front of me. And also, yeah, games will run very wonky if you have it in ultra wide mode. Like Dota doesn't work well in that way. It's pretty annoying actually, because even if I have it set to 1440p, Dota is in the center of the screen and there is space on the edges. Of course, it doesn't stretch out all the way, but the Windows toolbar just doesn't disappear. So it covers the lower part of my game, and that's just unacceptable. So yeah, the way that I could have it set right now is I could have the left side set to my work computer and then the right side set to my personal. And then I just use this button on my desk to toggle between them because I have a KVM switch under my desk. And yeah, I would say that it has worked pretty well for me. I have enjoyed having it. The only problem that I have is when I want to switch from, where is the thing? So when I want to switch from PIP mode, which I'm assuming is picture in picture, whatever the hell it stands for. So right now it's on ultra wide. If I want to switch it back, I do this, turn it on. And there are times that this side of the monitor, okay, it worked. But there are a lot of times where this side of the monitor, the max resolution is something lower than, it's like 720p or something. So I either have to toggle that shit off and on constantly until it's correct like this, or I just restart my computer, which doesn't take very long, but it's just actually quite annoying how often it happens for me personally. I don't know if it happens to other people, but you could see also that when I'm toggling it off and on, it's not that fast. It has a bit of a delay before it reappears. So if I'm toggling that off and on constantly just to get the right resolution, it could take multiple tries. It has taken several tries before. And then I guess just up here, I have this light for streaming. I still wish I could figure out a better way to have illumination on myself without light blaring in front of my face, because it's pretty bright and I kind of don't feel like that could be good for you, right? It's just very bright, very close to your eyes. So I have that there. If I don't have it, I'm pretty dark. If somebody knows a better way to illuminate yourself without blinding yourself in the face, please let me know. And then up here, it's just a typical Logitech 1080p webcam. I use that for work and I use it for streaming. And then I guess lastly, my desk. So my desk is also by Herman Miller. I bought it when I moved here to San Diego. And originally this desk had stationary legs. Basically, you can't adjust it, height or whatever, right? So I believe that, of course, I'm a short person, so a lot of default desk heights will be way too tall for me. And it was a very frustrating problem because if I wanted to be ergonomically correct with the way that this desk came, my feet didn't touch the ground. And so as a result, I had my feet like sitting on top of my chair legs or just dangling there, and it's just super uncomfortable. You want to be able to flat foot your feet. So about 2 years ago, I'd say, I decided to buy a sit stand attachment that I can install on the bottom of my desk. And after doing that, it has been a night and day difference because I was able to lower it to the point where now I really feel like I can comfortably sit at my desk. Before that, I feel like the entire time it was just really pretty unenjoyable. I would say I am actually pretty happy with the layout of my desk. The last thing that I did decide to get was a monitor arm for my monitor, because before that, the stand for this monitor is fucking huge. It took up so much of the desk. So after having that taken away, elevates everything. You have space under the monitor if you ever want to put stuff, which is really nice. Beforehand, the stand just really gets in the way of stuff. Even if you want to put stuff here or there, it just looks not as clean also. So even though the monitor arm is very expensive, it's like $400, I would say it's worth it because it does help make the experience of sitting at my desk more enjoyable. I mean, that sounds silly, but it's true. So anyways, I would say that's pretty much all I have to show you guys. I'm not gonna point stuff at my computer. I'll link to the video that I made last year where I was putting all of the pieces together. But yeah, I think this is the first time in a while, several years, since I've had my computer behind a closed door in a room, and I really, really like that. So I feel like I'm definitely going to do that from here on out. I'm going to try to ensure that I always have it in some sort of office to feel like I could at least have my privacy and my peace anytime I don't want, you know, cats nagging me or whatever. All right, so that's all I have to share with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And please drop by on Twitch if you want to say hi, and I'll see you guys later.